All right, guys, I want to make a quick crypto video. I know I made one yesterday, but Bitcoin blew past all-time high. We actually hit 112,000 a couple times. It happened last night and this morning, but we didn't get much of a rejection. We'd hit 112, go back down to 110, 111, which I would thought was a little bit surprising, but very, very bullish. We didn't get one of those big, massive dumps. A couple hours ago, we blew past 112. We've made a new all-time high, and now we're in price discovery mode for Bitcoin. Well, what does that mean? Your altcoins have also been pumping. XRP back up to 250. Cardano's been one of the top gainers in the altcoins, back up to 65 cents. If you're trading Cardano and you bought it 53, 54 like me, now's probably time to take some profits on your short-term bag. Dogecoin up 6%. Some of these coins up 20%, 13%. I mean, you just go down the list. Pepe up 10%. So you're seeing the money flow back into these altcoins and risk assets. Ethereum pushing 3,000 again. There's been a lot of talk about Ethereum lately, which is overall bullish to me. Ethereum climbs towards 3,000 as ETF demand and burn rate fuel breakout. I read another story that a lot of the big funds right now are buying Ethereum. It's funny. Just 3 or 4 months ago, everybody was saying Ethereum was dead. I was actually one of those people. I'm not a big fan of Ethereum. I think there's better coins to purchase. I think Ethereum's slow and there's not really too much you can build on it because it's too slow, but the big funds are buying it and Ethereum is doing well. A lot of the Ethereum-based tokens are doing well. And as you guys know, we've been talking about this for the last couple months, Ethereum being the second biggest altcoin, when that pumps, then your other altcoins pump as well. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Also seeing that a lot of the hype articles, a lot of these hype articles that are kind of geared towards your retail money are coming out trying to shill certain coins, and some of those coins are the ones we've been talking about. You want to be in the coins right now that the retail money is going to be buying in droves when they all come back in the crypto. So what coins are they? Well, of course, the ETF coins, the coins that your social media guys are shilling, the coins that you see on these articles. There's so many articles right now. Here's an article right now. Best crypto to invest in 2025. And they got Cardano, Litecoin, which are two of the biggest bags that we hold on this channel. Polkadot, blah, blah, blah. I think they got Solana in here somewhere. And this article is basically just geared towards basically shilling these coins to get newer people to buy. And that's what you want to see. You want to see what coins are people shilling. You also got the stock market. The stock market has blown past its all-time high, up 200 points today. Very good stuff. I mean, you're seeing some stuff okay, Trump's cracking down on immigration, so they're firing some workers. Who cares? White House accuses Powell of mismanaging Federal Reserve. Powell's days are numbered. I think we're going to get a rate cut probably by the end of the summer, but this guy's days are numbered. And if you're only looking for short term, we don't care what happens with the stock market next year. We don't care what happens with Bitcoin next year. I don't care if Bitcoin goes to zero next year because I'm not going to be holding any. I don't care if Charles Hoskinson comes out next year and says Cardano was a big scam and it all goes to zero. I don't care. I want to know what's going to be happening in the next 3, 4, 5 months. That's what I care about because I plan on being completely out of these markets. The good news is you're probably going to see Powell raise interest rates, and he's probably also going to get fired or quit in that span as well. And we're going to see a blow off top in the stock market, and we're going to see a blow off top in crypto, which we do every bull market. And you're also seeing a lot of articles talking about how other companies are following MicroStrategy's lead, just buying Bitcoin, and that's pretty much just going to pump that Bitcoin price. A lot of these companies, as Bitcoin goes up and starts pumping past all-time highs, not only are retail investors going to start pouring into these markets, you're also going to see a lot of these companies, these desperate companies, start to pick up some Bitcoin as well. And that's also going to take the price probably up to 150,000. My low end, my top end target for Bitcoin's always been 150,000. I'm hearing some people like Ivan on Tech talking about a $200,000 Bitcoin. It could happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Look, most of the smart grounded money is talking about $130,000 to $150,000 for Bitcoin. But you never know. In the heat of the moment, with a lot of these big companies buying, maybe we'll get higher than that. But I would surely be mostly out of this market by the time Bitcoin hits $150,000. Overall, guys, everything looking really, really good. I want to see Cardano get back over $1. I think, it's not going to happen overnight, but it happens relatively quick. Once Cardano gets over $1, I think it's going to blast off from there. We were just at a 53-cent Cardano a couple days ago. Now we're at 65. So we've pumped over like 10 cents in Cardano over the last week. We can easily pump another 40 cents in the next week, 50 cents. We might get a pullback in Bitcoin. I was really expecting more of a pullback, so maybe we'll get a pullback down to like 110 at some point today and then make our way back up. The overall point is the sentiment has changed. The tariff talk doesn't really scare investors anymore. And overall, people are basically just looking to invest. They've been kind of not investing over the last couple months. Now you have the stock market blowing up. You're going to have a lot of these people who made a ton of money in the stock market going into these risk assets, not just Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum. Then you're going to see people going into these highly risky cryptos like Vulcan Forge, even down to like Theta, T-Fuel, and all of them are going to start pumping as well. So overall, guys, everything is lining up absolutely perfectly. I'm really, really excited in what's going on in Bitcoin right now. And I think in the next 2 or 3 months, right now we're in July. I really think, July, August, September, going into like the end of the summer, I think we're going to be like I think we're going to be really, really high levels. I think Cardano is going to be $1.50 by this time next month, possibly. XRP is definitely going to be over $3 probably by the end of the month. And I think we're going to be rocking and rolling. And we're just gonna have to talk about when to sell, because you realize we're gonna have a good couple months in crypto, but it's all gonna crash, and it's all gonna crash really, really hard. And a lot of people, I was listening to Ivan on Tech today saying a lot of people make that round trip journey where they make all this money and then they come right back and they make nothing, right back to zero. I was there on the first bull run in 2017. I made those mistakes. So no matter how good it gets over the next couple of months, you have to realize it's a game of musical chairs. And a lot of people are going to be left holding the bag, and we just have to make sure that at minimum we take some heavy, heavy profits once we get to those price levels. And some of these coins, like XRP, XRP, I bought it like 35 cents. XRP at $3, $3.50, $4, I'm probably going to be selling most of my XRP. Like, that's a coin that's ripe and ready to be sold probably in the next month. Cardano in the next couple months. Cardano, $1.50, $2, I'm going to be looking to sell most of my Cardano. And then setting heavy, heavy stop losses so I can get out. Because I don't know, Cardano might go to $2, it might go to $3, maybe it'll go higher. But once Cardano hits a top and decides to dump, it's going to dump a lot. It's going to dump 50, 60% in a week, and that's going to be going right into the bear market. Especially these meme coins, they're pumping pretty good right now, but meme coins are going to dump the most. So if you're holding some of these meme coins, in the next couple months, once we get to those all-time high levels and a little bit higher, we're going to have to look at getting out. But overall, everything looking good. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a pullback down to like 111, 112. I don't know. But right now, we're in price discovery mode for Bitcoin, and these altcoins should follow extremely well in the next couple days, next couple weeks, as Bitcoin kind of bottoms out. I'd expect Bitcoin to like bottom out at some point, 115, 114, just kind of hang out there for a little bit, couple days, just hang out, not do much, and then you're going to see all the money just flow into these altcoins, and it's going to be amazing. There's going to be roadblocks in between. Obviously, we could have a couple weeks of nothing. We could have a couple days of dumpage. We could have a flash crash. You never know. But overall, everything's looking good, and you can see the sentiment has changed, and people are now bullish in crypto again.